Get people motivated, get motivated, get motivated, get motivated. Car live, car rentals live, car arbitrage live. Oh, by the way, once you hit this live, go ahead and click the subscribe button, and hit the subscribe, hit the like, type yes, yes, yes in the comment section. When you type yes, 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 it's going to allow most people to come in and enjoy some of the content, especially when we're live. So this live is for select folks that are looking to optimize their ride share experience in June of 2024. And given the fact that you have a lot of car shows and events that are happening in the month of June, now is the time to get level set on your car sharing experience. Also, when you join our Carshierge membership, you will get shout outs. Sometimes you get exclusive videos that nobody sees, and you get to see the video premieres before other people, and you get shout outs during the chat session. All right, so learn how to join Carshierge and subscribe. There should be a link somewhere that you can take advantage of. Click that link, and it will send you to a page where you can subscribe. You can also, during some of our programming, support the channel by buying what they call thanks. You can buy thanks. So, like for some of the short videos, you can buy thanks. If you like the content dealing with cars in a short video format, when you buy thanks, that kind of also helps our channels. All right, so today, obviously, most people are just relaxing. They have some kind of a holiday going on, Juneteenth. All right, so if you know what Juneteenth is about, go ahead and leave a like somewhere in the comment section and let us know what you think it is, and why it's a holiday, right? Okay, the history of it and what brought about it. All right. So now, what I wanted to tell you guys about is, have you noticed that the likes of Carvana are trying to change their business strategy? But what I've realized too is they're not quite changing it to the level that they need to be able to get more people to basically buy their cars. It appears that they're doing something with their business strategy, but I don't see it materializing as of yet, or turning it into some kind of an opportunity to basically buy stuff, right? Yeah, I don't see that happen yet. So I'm seeing a change in strategy, but the strategy I don't think hasn't taken hold yet. It hasn't taken hold in Las Vegas. It hasn't taken hold in Santa Monica, or even San Francisco for that matter, right? Tampa Bay area sometimes they play catch up, but when it comes to certain activities, kind of like car sharing and things of that nature, it takes a while for the activities to catch up with the right folks that you're looking to maybe upgrade their vehicles, maybe get in on a more of an exotic car than they have before. Yeah, you definitely got to do a better job from that perspective, right? If you're a company that's in the car sharing space, but you don't realize that sometimes what you really need to do to get your car sharing actually going better than normal is to share the car share. And those folks are going to then tell the other folks to say, hey, he's live. Do you want to come join the company live? And when you join the live, it's going to bring more people, and those people are going to start commenting, and they're going to say, hey, look, there's a live going on. It's about cars, and it's about cars. I may be able to learn something from the live, or I may be able to say, hey, the live has been going on, but I haven't really learned anything about the live. So that's what I'm talking about, right? So when you come on live, you need to click the like button. You need to click the subscribe button. And the live is for select individuals in the car sharing space, and these people are always looking to learn. They're looking to learn how they could maybe get their cars listed on certain magazines for publicity. They're looking to go on a rally. They're looking to maybe go on on a track to enjoy some of the exotic cars that they've been collecting, or some of the exotic cars that they think they want to be collecting in the near future, right? So that's what this life is about. It's about, hey, look, June 2024 is car season. I don't care where, if you're in Germany or if you're in Florida, Las Vegas, the racing circuits and some of the shows that are upcoming. You guys kind of know that the Kissimmee Summer Classic here in Florida is starting in July. So July is the month where if you have cars and you want to go see them in auction, it's really good. Even I think Motor Trend TV comes out there, Kissimmee, and Florida for the make 'em live auctions. Okay, so yeah, so they call it the Summer Classic. So that's another event that's going on that most people can take advantage of. I think 2 years ago when I went to that event, it was really good. I learned a lot from the event. I was able to get a lot of people connected to the event, and I followed up with a certain vehicle that I had listed there. That vehicle still seeing a whole lot of action based on that listing, right? One place you can kind of go to see exactly what is going on with some of these cars. You can go to classic.com. So if you have a classic car, if you have an exotic that you're trying to like sell, that might be a good place to go and list that car. There's tons of cars. As a matter of fact, I did get the January 2024 flyer right there. They sent to me from it says Kissimmee January, but the summer one is the one that I think if you're really interested, you should check out. The summer one has a lot of people that are interested in certain vehicles, and I think one of the vehicles that I've seen that's catching a lot of interest in some of the Porsches, some of the Ferraris. I've also seen the classic cars. Those are making headways right now. They're making headways because people are interested in these cars. They're interested in the old BMWs. They're interested in the old Mercedes, Maseratis, and stuff, right? They're also interested in trucks. Believe it or not, trucks are beginning to gain a lot of popularity right now in the car space. Like I was telling you about Carvana, I think what I've noticed with Carvana is that they're trying so hard to rebrand their business, but they haven't really gotten the big part of the issue fixed. And what I mean by the issues that Carvana has right now is Carvana is looking for an exorbitant down payment if people are looking to sell their cars. Now, they do have their in-house financing, but for some reason, they want to take the consumers to the cleaners because they want them putting down like $5,000 to $10,000 even after they take their cars. And think about this: they tell you their car is undervalued. They even have a new tool right now where they supposedly will tell you about your car, what the value is worth, but if they're giving you less value for your car, it just leads me to believe that things are not going the way they're supposed to do in the car business. Okay, if you're joining the live right now, welcome. I need you to type yes, yes, yes in the chat. And if you become a member, I'm going to be giving you shout outs when you chat. Subject to the terms and conditions of the YouTube app. Oh, by the way, also remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed from part of the channel where we'll talk about cars, and hit the bell. What that's going to do is going to give you notifications whenever we go live or whenever we put out new content. Okay, so one thing of late is people are now coming to the realization that at some point you have to actually say, hey, look, the car business has seen a lot of downturn, but I will tell you what's going to happen in the next iteration of what's going on right now. What I mean by that is we're getting ready to head into a recession, right? This recession I've been talking about what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to kind of bring this book. If you haven't already seen this book, or if you're looking to maybe get this book, now may be a good time to go check it out. It's called The Ensuing Recession, and it's on Amazon. Give me 1 second. Let me grab the book real quick, and I'm going to show you the cover of this book. So this is the book right here. It's called The Ensuing Recession. Sorry about that. And the book basically highlights what to do if you're already in the space, or if you don't know what you want to do, but you're trying to figure out what could be the best thing for you to do. Is I will recommend you get this book, okay? The Ensuing Recession. And it tells you about the upcoming recession and what would happen to businesses, what would happen. And the reason this is important, it's available on Amazon, by the way. The reason this is important is because um, If the banks start feeling pressure in terms of offering financing, it's going to invariably lead to less of approvals. You know what I mean? So you're not going to get a lot of car companies or even the Carvanas of the world, the online companies, approving people the way they used to before. You can already see some kind of a tightening of the approval process of late in the last quarter. But I anticipate in the going to the third and the fourth quarters, there'll be even more tightening. And this is going to be very detrimental to companies that rely on car sharing, for that matter, to be able to increase the number of cars in the fleet. It's also going to be detrimental to the traditional, I bet you, the traditional car rental companies, the Hertz of the world, right? Those companies, I think, are going to also be having to either get rid of some cars. Remember when Hertz got rid of, divested themselves of all of their Teslas? That was something that basically was a signal to say, hey, look, something is going on in the car market. Something is going on, and they basically were looking to get their risk minimized. So you got to minimize risk by basically offloading excess inventory, right? Because what good is it if you have excess inventory and it's costing you a lot of money because they thought they could get into the e-game, but that was basically the wrong thing to do, right? And I want to give you case studies about how this has happened, and it's happened a lot, and people are not paying attention to the data points. You got to pay attention to the data points insofar as the trends, right? So what data point enabled Hertz to say we're going to divest ourselves of our Teslas? Can you give me a guess? Go ahead and drop what you think on the chat somewhere. Drop it in the comment section. What data point led Hertz to say, hey, we are not going to be involved in the e-business in terms of cars. We're going to divest ourselves of Teslas in particular. Can you tell me what that is? And oh, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, the EU just levied some tariffs to Chinese-made e-vehicles. So there's going to be a pricing war that's getting ready to hit. And this pricing war, trade war, is actually going to inversely impact the car business. Okay, so for example, if you have some of the American manufacturers that are maybe producing in China, say like Tesla, guess what's going to happen? There will be a retaliation, which invariably is then going to impact the price of Teslas going forward. You guys already know that Teslas right now are seeing a dramatic dip in their price points. I think if you look at some of my videos from previous months, I kind of alerted the folks that this was going to happen, right? You're going to be in a situation where the prices are going to be so drastically low that anybody can get into these cars. It may be a good opportunity to get into the cars if that's what you want to do, but you got to be careful, right? Because what good is it getting into a car that's is drastically depreciating, which means that in the long run, if it's not a productive asset, if you're not trying to make money from it, then you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're actually losing money. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Do you think getting into a Tesla or one of these depreciating vehicles at this juncture is a good investment for the long term, or do you think it's a short-term play? In other words, if you're able to get one or two of these low-price vehicles and you're able to kind of like what I say, arbitrage them, right? Trying to make money off of them. Would that be a short or long-term play? So go ahead and leave what you think in the comment section. And oh, by the way, talking about car arbitrage, in the description below, you will see a link that's going to take you to a site where you can download the ebook that I personally put together for you guys. And if you do that right now, taking off 75% off of it. So instead of the regularly priced $39.99, I think you can probably get it for under $10. That's a steal. And what it would do is level set the background so you get a little bit of a context on what I'm talking about insofar as the car arbitrage market is and what could impact this market and how you can kind of position yourself to be a winner in the space, right? Because again, if you have good information, you're going to be able to make the right decisions at the right time to then position yourself. Again, not try to get people along, but these are some of the trends and data points that I've been talking about quite vividly. And I've seen a lot of people jump in the bandwagon wanting to talk about, how, for example, I'm going to pan a little bit again to the book right there, the ensuing recession. That's what it looks like right there. Some people jump in the bandwagon, the car business. They want to be part of the car rental business, but they don't quite understand the dynamics that could impact the car rental business. And that's why I'm also offering some coaching to select individuals that are ready to get in depth with car rental. I'll be leaving a link somewhere. If I haven't already left the link in the description below, I'm going to be leaving a link in the home channel or the community page. What I'm going to share this, I'm going to leave a link so you can sign up for my coaching plan. There are three steps to doing that. And step one is to say, hey, look, acknowledge that you need a coach. Okay, you need what I call an accountability partner. If you don't get held accountable, you're not going to be able to do anything, right? So you got to acknowledge. You may have to just look at your situation and say, "Look, I need an accountability coach." So if you made that decision, then the next step would be to sign up for one of the three steps that we have in terms of tiered. So you have the regular, and you have the mid-range, and then you have the premium coaching plans. And oh, by the way, if you were to go with the premium, that gives you access to one-on-one live videos with me, where I can actually have a conversation with you, look at your strategy, and give you some implementing guidance going forward, so you can see your business well situated as we go to what I'm thinking is going to be a huge dip in consumer demand due to high interest rates and high prices for food stuff. And so luxury goods are probably not going to see the level of demand that we've been seeing when it comes to cars. Like you're talking about luxury cars, right? Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and things of that nature. People are not going to be buying those. But you know what would be interesting is if the prices for those particular cars begin to come down. If they come down, that means there might be an opportunity to leverage some of those opportunities to buy the cars, right? So I'd like to know what you guys think. I just wanted to come online and do a couple of live and say, hey, look, it's a holiday. It might be a good time to reevaluate your situation, right? And get ready for the next level of business success, right? And it all takes you looking at your situation. And if your consumers is, you gotta say, hey, look, is this a good time to actually make purchases? Or is it a good time to maybe slow down a little bit? And these are decisions that I would offer that you have to do. You have to actually make these decisions yourself. What do I mean by make the decisions? You have to look at your situation, right? Your situation might not be the same like your next person. And then what I found most often is people like to compare themselves to somebody else. You don't really need to do that, right? Because what good is it comparing yourself to somebody else when maybe the person you're comparing yourself to puts in like 21 hours a day with thinking about strategy, right? Trying to figure out how to improve their situation. Well, you, on the other hand, you spend maybe 8 hours a day just like not doing anything. You don't spend time on strategic imperatives, right? So that's why I think you gotta, from a coaching perspective, you gotta get that accountability partner. Then you gotta say, hey, I need to be coached, and then you gotta move forward. And oh, by the way, if you haven't already taken the time to look at that ebook that I mentioned, check out the description below. And you're going to see a link right to it that's going to take you to the site. And then you can download the ebook for Car Arbitrage and get 75% off right now. So I'm going to give you 3 seconds to do that. I'm going to be quiet. And while you come back, I'm going to start talking about another topic that's been on my mind quite a bit, but I haven't really diverged what I was thinking about it. So I'm going to pause. 1, 2, 3. Go download the ebook right now and get 75% off. The link is in the description below. All right. welcome back. So the other topic I was going to talk about involves registering your vehicles, making sure that the title to your vehicles are properly registered, and when it's time for you to get the title to your vehicle, situations where somebody's claiming that your vehicle isn't your vehicle. And you know, I was talking about Carvana for quite a bit. I've heard stories, horror stories, that some people will buy vehicles from Carvana and they don't get the titles to the vehicle for like maybe 6 months. They can't register the vehicles for like 6 months. I don't know, has that happened to you guys before? Is that like an epidemic that's happening in the car rental business? Is it because they can use those titles to do what I call financing loans, or factoring the loans to keep their business going? I don't know. I've heard a couple of YouTubers make YouTube videos about this, right? I'm not quite sure how that works, but that's been something in my mind that I've that's been concerning to me, and I wanted to kind of share that with you guys to say, hey, look, have you run into a situation where you buy a vehicle and you have to wait like 3 to 6 months for registration and title? That kind of sounds kind of odd, but if that's happening, that's a problem. That's a problem because then that means you in a situation where you probably wouldn't be able to register the vehicle. You won't be able to maybe make money off of the vehicles. I don't know. And I've heard these stories, and it's very alarming how some of these companies can actually purport to be transparent when it comes to the transaction of buying a car, right? It's a huge investment, don't get me wrong. When I started the podcast, I mentioned how I do not think at this juncture that Carvana has actually changed their business practices. And oh, by the way, that's one way to acquire vehicles is go through like the online I call them car dealerships, right? But I don't know if you can call them a car dealerships because they even have a location where you can go and after you paid for the car, you can go pick the car up. It's kind of like from a vending machine kind of thing, right? So I don't know. So are they a dealership or are they something else? They probably are something in between, right? The other company that I really have been hearing horror stories about is Turo, Turo. And you know, a lot of people have their whole business model behind Turo. I've been hearing about Turo is now kicking people off their platform for no reason whatsoever, or they've given you a reason that your vehicle is either on high mileage or you've gotten reviews that are low and you've gotten really, really, really lackluster reviews on your Turo from your customers, right? So, but they're kicking vehicles out of the platform permanently. And it got me thinking. I said, wait a minute. Are they trying to fashion themselves or compete with the traditional car rental companies? If they are, do car rental companies enforce stricter standards than say a Turo is doing? I'm not sure. I'd like to know what you guys think about this topic too. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. Because I think for once, I had the opinion that Turo was going to be mass marketed, right? In other words, and when Uber jumped into the car sharing space at about 6 months ago, they had a test city. I think it was somewhere in Boston, right? I thought that was going to open up Turo, and it's going to open up the car sharing space to a broader audience. And I've been seeing a lot of Turo commercials of late, on social media. And whenever I see those commercials, I like them because, again, as a Turo host, I've been done this going on 3 years now. It was nice to see a business basically get mass appeal, right? But when it gets mass appeal, the way to scale should not necessarily be an impediment to operations when it comes to the host, right? The host should be allowed to continue to innovate, and it should be allowed a greater portion of the profits from this endeavor. Now, not sure because Tour is a private company, and I've also heard word There's a disclaimer that they may actually vie to be public at some juncture. Again, I'm not giving you financial advice because that's not my forte when it comes to my YouTube channel, but I would caution you to look very closely to companies whose business model are not conducive to the underlying structure that allows them to make that money. Because what could happen is you can have a situation where the host may say, "Hey, look, we're tired of this stuff. We want to go private." If you guys heard about private, that means you're basically saying, I'm gonna keep all the profits for myself. I'm gonna do all the work that I'm already doing anyway for that Turo is getting a fee for. I'm gonna do all that work by myself, and when I do all that work, then I can keep all the profits that come with the work. So I don't know if you guys are tracking this particular trend, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention that I've seen a lot of concerned Turo hosts explaining that, hey, Turo just kicked my vehicle. There was nothing wrong out of it. They kicked it out of the of the platform permanently. They permanently banned their vehicle. I'm like, but that just doesn't make any sense. Why would you ban something that's actually helping you make money? It wouldn't make sense to say, okay, I'm just using an example. 75. I'm gonna forgo 25% of a daily rate in exchange for nothing. That makes absolutely no sense. If you're trying to, as a company, boost up your revenues, I would imagine that it would make sense to, on the one hand, have a tight policy, but have it where it's flexible enough to be able to accommodate new entrants into the business. Because if the business is solely reliant on new hosts coming on and connecting with the guest and providing that service, again, that's what Carshierge does. Right? Carshierge was founded to connect the host with the guest for an awesome ride share experience. Oh, by the way, this might be a time for me to say, if you haven't already downloaded the Carshares app, um, now might be a good time to look at our community page tab, click on there, go download the app. There's two apps. There's the Carshares Driver and there's the Carshares Pro. The drivers for drivers, and so they both work seamlessly. We are exploring possibly releasing the app on the Google platform. We started out just on Apple, and we've seen great results with and testing from those apps. But we may eventually roll that out to the Google platform. All right, so that's me talking about the issues within car sharing and how that could be improved, right? And it takes concerted and serious hosts to be able to make that happen. So I'm gonna pause for a little bit. I'm gonna come back later. I'll be looking at some of your questions and I'll be answering some of those questions. And I do thank you guys for getting on here and looking at this live. Cashiers, we'll check out later.